back. In the break, we got John and Gordo there discussing greatest lyrical rapper of all times. Let's jump into that.
That's not what we were discussing.
What was it? Sorry, I wasn't paying much attention. Yeah. What was that you guys were discussing?
We went back to the Gordo's Roundup question, which was the album, right?
Yeah, the album. Like, what album would you show Tupac or Biggie?
And I had two different answers for which one I would show which. My answer to show Tupac would be Kendrick Lamar album. Which one specifically, I wasn't sure, but To Pimp a Butterfly probably. But since he was more of a lyricist and poetic, and Gordo has a different take on that.
I think the lyrical guy was Biggie. I think he was more lyrical than
Pac?
Than Pac, yes. Poetic, yeah. Poetic, Pac takes it, but like creative, and that was Biggie, man.
Yeah, no,
because it's like New York,
right.
Rap.
I personally like Biggie better than Tupac.
Oh, okay.
But not for that reason. It's because Biggie, all he did was rap about his life and what he went through. Like, he wasn't very creative, honestly. He wasn't. He just rapped about his life.
I think he did a lot, like with the metaphors and stuff. Now it's overused, but I think he did that more. Pac was a little bit more simple. Like you can understand him more. Pac was a voice.
Right.
Pac was he spoke on topics that but they were more simple.
Yeah.
It was
do you think we lost those type of rappers, the rappers that would talk about life, that talk about their experiences for a while, and then Kendrick Lamar sort of came back and brought that back? Because it was more about hoes and rims and cars.
There's always been one or two.
In different area codes.
Yeah, in different area codes. It changed. It changed. The game changed.
No, there's always been one or two ever since Biggie and Tupac died.
But do you think that Kendrick Lamar brought it back?
No.
He's, like you said, since Tupac and Biggie, who is lyrically... Who is other than Eminem?
Eminem.
Right? Everyone will say Eminem.
But Eminem doesn't really rap big picture. Like, again,
in between them and Kendrick Lamar,
Kanye West.
Yes. Oh my God.
I like
okay,
Kanye
you
West.
can hate all you want. I know
like
you
West.
hate his guts, but
Right.
Kanye West especially his first album is about social injustice and black people. And
so what? He's a sellout. He just sold out.
No, he's a creative. You can't rap about the same thing over and over. That's why I think Biggie wouldn't have made it past three albums.
I could see that.
Because all he did was rap about
and
his
the reason
life.
somebody told a cousin of mine actually told me this. The reason why we feel so big on Tupac and Biggie, they died really young. They didn't have a chance to suck.
I'm older than both of them were when they died. I'm 25, and I'm 25. I feel young as shit.
And that's what happens. Like a lot of people have great first and second albums.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a chance to suck.
They sold.
Like even Eminem was great, and he had like one or two bad albums.
Yeah, Relapse.
Let me say this: you guys might disagree. There's a lot of artists that sell more when they pass away. In Spanish music, you got Selena, which she was.
Selena está aquí.
She got a Grammy. I understand that, but she didn't sell nearly enough. Like the first year when she passed away, that first year, she just like tenfold sold what she ever sold.
Rudy, so you're telling me Selena's better than Pac and Biggie? Is that what you're trying to say?
She was. May
she
rest in peace. But she was hotter than both of them put together.
Me and Joey had a discussion about rap and lyricism. You brought out Selena. Come on.
Selena.
It just popped in my head. All right, speaking of New York, we got did you guys see that video, Aaron Judge? It was a walk-off. I think Gardner hit a walk-off home run. They're celebrating behind home plate. Someone is a lot short. Obviously, he's like 6'7". Someone shorter than him is jumping in front of him, and with the helmet, knocks his tooth out. You guys saw that video?
Yes, that was funny. You could see the piece of the tooth like flying out of it.
That's
It was
hilarious.
funny.
He already has a gap. He doesn't need a bigger fucking gap.
The guy's already goofy looking, and he's gonna look more like Lloyd Christmas from
110%.
And
Come on, Gordo, 110%.
Oh, really quick, guys, really quick. We do have a visitor here, Adolfo Lopez. He's gonna be coming in talking a little baseball. What New Jersey is where you lived? So he has a little East Coast flavor here, and he'll be joining in here. Let me ask him a question really quick. You that lived in the East Coast, how do people in the East Coast see us West Coast fans? Like, do they see that we're bandwagoners? Do they take us as serious sports fans?
From what I've noticed, it seems like what everyone thinks about the most is that we get to games late and leave really early. That's the most popular opinion that I've heard out there. Everyone's kind of just fair weather. There's a lot of cooler stuff to do. That's what they think, and we like them when they're good, and we don't like them when they're bad. So that's the popular opinion out there.
And we are going to have Ronnie's good buddy
Ricardo
from the Bronx come in. Hopefully next week we'll have him on Skype, and he'll tell us a little bit more about the same question I just asked Adolfo, and how I want to know how they portray us as fans, because us as Dodger fans, we know our shit, and we know people. We know a lot of people that know their shit about baseball, basketball, whatever sport. Whatever team is here local, but I just hate it that everyone always thinks that we're fake. We don't watch. We just go to post Instagram
that's a
pictures.
Big picture thing though, but I mean you're gonna get diehard fans everywhere. So, and we're that group, here in LA. But back to is your friend Ronnie who's gonna be calling in? He's a Yankee fan.
He's a 100% Yankees fan.
All right.
Like I mentioned in the past, born and bred the Bronx.
And we're gonna try to get him in.
And we're gonna bring him on. He's a big listener to the show. He likes us all. I think he'll bring good insight from the East Coast. He'll see what we can ask him whatever questions he likes, and he seems to be ready.
I got two listeners, two cousins of mine. Shout out to Adriana and Espy. They actually asked me if we can talk a little bit more on the Yankees. So maybe next week when you're
Adolfo, let me ask you a question. Adolfo, you obviously, I just mentioned you lived in the East Coast. Did you notice that the East Coast people that you were around with, were they bigger fans than your friends and people that you hung out with? Did they know more about sports than one of us per se?
I didn't notice anything more about them being better fans or more knowledgeable fans. My opinion might be a little bit more biased. I was there for college. I played baseball, so most of my friends were athletes. They were involved in the sport, baseball specifically. But what I did notice out there that was very different was that females are a lot more into sports than they are here.
Great point, man. Great point.
I mean, I had never seen so many female football fans until I went out there, and girls that own jerseys and know who they are. They don't have the name in the back.
Not just because it's the cool thing to do, or because their boyfriend.
That's right.
Or because Andre Ethier's super hot.
Yeah. I mean, of course that exists.
Which he is, though.
That exists, right? But that exists. But I mean, the real legit fans. There was a lot of female legit fans out there, which was pretty cool to see.
To add on to your point, where I work, every Seattle Seahawks fan that I come across, they all have that number 12. I've been to Seattle, and it seemed like every bar, every restaurant, doesn't matter where you go, they all have their Seattle Seahawks gear. Like you said, women wearing the jerseys, and you can tell they really know their sport. They weren't just
is this
wearing
after they won the Super Bowl?
This was after, because I think I went about a year ago.
That's what I'm saying. Now all of a sudden you see a bunch of Cubs fans, and I know Cubs fans. I actually know a family, big-time Cubs fans before they won the World Series, but I could honestly say they're the only Cubs fans I've ever known, like real diehard fans. But now all of a sudden you see them everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's...
I'm laughing because shout out John trying to sneak a chip.
Yeah, we gotta be very careful.
John, you're the real MVP.
We gotta be very careful whatever you're eating. The mic catches all that shit. So
we got chips and salsa on the table.
Yeah. So like Gordo just got up, farted, and came back.
I think I brought it with me.
Crop dusting me, bro.
Dude, let's talk about Dodger baseball, West Coast stuff. Dodger baseball, they're still hot. They lost 2 against the Braves. A lot of people thought, all right, they're going to start cooling down, but then now they got 7 straight. Is that it?
7 or 8, right?
Just beat the Giants
Today,
2 in a row.
Morning.
But let me ask this, Gordo, the Giants, why do they always give us even though they suck right now, why do they always give us a hard fucking time?
Because it's the Giants. Like, they obviously they got nothing to play for this season, I guess. And they want to beat us. Like,
we did win 2 games in a row, but they weren't the easiest games to win.
No. Like today was a 2-1 game.
2-1, right?
Yeah. But that's baseball. Like, I was just having this conversation last night with one of my friends who's a big basketball fan. Like, and he said, I just like watching good basketball. I said, yeah, but basketball, like, you know who's going to win. The better team wins. I'm just in my, like,
well, you touched
experience
on this,
80% of the time.
You touched on this last week with the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I watch a basketball game, I'd have an idea who's going to win this game. Like, it might be a good game, and there might be the underdog might win, but it's very unlikely. Baseball, anybody can win any day. Because
you're right.
Because the starting pitching is different, it's a different lineup, and it's baseball. Baseball, stupid things happen all the time that you have no control of, or some guys just are on, or some guys are off, and that's what even the worst team can sweep the best team. That happens.
Magic Johnson talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series this year. He's pretty much doing what Joe Namath did this.
Yeah, but Joe Namath did it like before the Super Bowl. Like, he was already in the Super Bowl.
They were in the Super Bowl.
Is he putting?
Right?
Is he putting pressure on the Dodgers?
Oh, what did you say? Did you say what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he's calling the shot.
Yeah,
he said the Dodgers are gonna win the World Series.
Right.
And
Ronnie,
I think that's the dumbest thing.
Ron, do you
to say.
think it actually affects the player? Or the player doesn't give a fuck.
Nah, I don't think the player really cares. I think you have Magic at the helm now, and
he's not though. I think he had to sell his little portion of the Dodgers to own
but
the
to the
Lakers.
fan,
still
they
the
see
face.
Magic though. Yeah,
he's still the face.
They see Magic just like the Lakers. He's their president of basketball operations. A lot of players want to come play for the Lakers now.
Right.
And the Dodgers are a beast, man. I was watching the game last night. Every batter coming up to bat, man. Like you got the whole team. They're stacked, bro. But my one fear is, have they peaked too soon?
Yeah, a lot of.
I don't know what's going to happen right before the playoffs start, and have they already peaked, or are they just hopefully, God forbid, there's an injury, something happens, but their farm system is stacked, so maybe they call someone up. Kershaw
speaking of their farm system, let's go trade rumors here. We got Sonny Gray. Did they just sit him out, John?
Yeah, he's supposed to start tomorrow, and they canceled the start just in case he gets traded.
And the rumors are that Alex Verdugo, who's an OKC center fielder, I think he's a 5-tool player. He will be dealt along with Yadier Alvarez. He's here in Rancho. He also got scratched on yesterday's start. Do you guys think this is good for the Dodgers game? Sonny Gray, I believe he has a 3.45 ERA. So he's not an ace. He's a decent pitcher. Still pretty young. Is this the right move, or should we try to get an ace like Yu Darvish, or Justin Verlander's not an ace anymore, but he has more experience.
But he's been there before. Justin Verlander is going to be on See, the only thing I don't like about having Verlander on the team is he's too expensive for the next 2 years. Sonny Gray, he still has 2 more years left on his deal, and it's a relatively good contract.
But what are you giving up for Sonny Gray? That's the thing. Adolfo, should we give up 2 top prospects? Because Yadier Alvarez is our number 1 prospect, even though I think he's highly overrated. And Alex Verdugo is a top 5 as well. Do you think it's too much for Sonny Gray, who has a 3.45 ERA? He had 1 really good season, but he's been average ever since.
I think if Darvish is still on the table, you can get him. He's just a rental. You can get him without giving up any of those really big prospects. You can hold on to those guys. I think that's the way you want to go. I mean, I know a lot of people are scared. He's had some bad outings in July. That 10-run outing, 3.5 innings. That really hurt his stats, his recent stats, and that's what a lot of people are looking at. But you can't forget, Yu Darvish has really good stuff. I mean, if you look at the really deep stats, he's solid. He's a top 5 pitcher in a lot of categories. So I think that's the route to go. You don't give up a lot of top prospects. That way you can hold on, because what I could see happening is if we do give up 2 guys, like you said, you really deplete the really good farm system that we have right now. And the same thing could happen that you see in, say, like in a high school level where, they have a whole class of seniors that are really good, and they go off to college. Now they're screwed for the next 3-4 years. And that could be really bad for the Dodgers if they do give up a lot for, 2 years of Sonny Gray is great, but you lose out on those prospects.
Let's say you do give away 2 great prospects for Yu Darvish. Is this the year when you want to do it? Is this the year that you think the Dodgers need that second ace to win the World Series?
Well, like I started, if Yu Darvish is on the table, you got to go after him. If he's not, say something happens, somebody else comes in. The Orioles are pushing hard for a lot of pitchers. Somebody else comes in, takes Darvish out. I think you do push for Sonny Gray, and you do give up those prospects. You got to do it. I mean, if there's a year, this seems like the year. I mean, it'd be awful if it didn't happen, but this is when you got to do it.
Yeah, to add to his point, the Dodgers are all in this season. You know, it's World Series or bust, in my opinion, and we brought this up last week. You know, the Dodgers, every player and team and fan want the Dodgers to win. Well, we do here in Southern California.
29 years already, right?
Yeah, it's 1988, man. No one wants – this is the year. You know, I think you go and get Darvish. He's only 30 years old.
Yeah.
You know, he's still young. You bring him in, and you make that push. In Game 1 of the playoff series, Kershaw's your ace. You're going with him no matter what. Darvish,
Alex Wood is having a great year. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, but maybe you throw him the third game of the series. You know, because after who would the Nationals throw first?
Scherzer.
And then who they got? They still have
Gio's doing really good this year.
And they have Strasburg, right?
We lit him up last year in the playoffs.
Strasburg from the Nationals.
Hurt. Well, right now.
Right now, that's what I mean. If a playoff series started and they were healthy,
they're also looking for an ace, though. They're also moving.
Yeah, if you throw Darvish versus, say
they just traded for Howie Kendrick, guys.
I love Howie Kendrick. He played with it. He gave it all his heart, but he's just done. He's done. He's no more. I'm sorry. I love the guy, but he's no more.
And I think a lot of people don't talk about this, but if we do get the Dodgers get Darvish, and we have Darvish and try to re-sign him, and we have Maeda. And I think it would be a lot easier to sign Ohtani. I don't know if you guys know who Ohtani is. He's in Japan. He's the DH/pitcher who throws 102 and hits 400-foot bombs. Like, he is dope, and he's supposed to come over this offseason. And if we have this group of Japanese pitchers already, like, maybe he wants to come over. This is the closest flight from the United States to Japan is in L.A.
As far as Japanese players, not a lot of them have worked out. Yeah, you got Darvish, you got Ichiro, but for the most part, they haven't really worked out.
They're not this guy. This guy throws 102. This guy's 6'4". This is Darvish again, but better. Darvish has worked out because he's big enough. He's not the little Hideo Nomo. He's not the little Koji Uehara. He's not little. Like, this is a big dude.
Hisop Choi. Pretty big guy.
He was Korean.
He's not Japanese.
I was thinking of Chan-Ho Park.
Chan-Ho Park.
He was in the majors for a long time.
Remember when
Japanese pitchers worked out?
Was it Tim Salmon that rushed him, and then he threw like a karate kick, like a drop kick?
It wasn't Tim Salmon, but it was
the Angels, right?
It was an Angel.
That was funny as fuck.
Yeah,
we'll put that shit up too on Instagram. That was funny. That's when the Angels had no fans. Yeah, now they have fans after 2002, 3. Whatever fucking year they won.
I'm getting an Ohtani jersey. Just so
Let me ask you guys a question about that 2002, 2003. I think it was 2. Who are you guys rooting for? The Giants, the hated fucking Giants,
that was terrible.
Or the Angels? Who were you guys actually rooting for? Adolfo, I'll start with you.
The Angels. I thought that was a pretty easy choice for me. I mean, I know there's a lot of rivalry between both teams, but I cannot stand the Giants for 1 second. And most of my family is Angel fans, so it was kind of just fun to join in with them, join combined force against the Giants. So that's who I went with.
At the time, I rooted for the Angels too because they weren't as hated. Like, now they're hated because of that. The fans came out of nowhere, and we kind of hate the fans, like,
over the team.
Yeah, over the team, and it wasn't that bad back then.
Because we love Mike Trout.
They were the little brother.
Mike Trout.
They were referred to as a little brother, so it wasn't that bad.
They weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah,
and they had Mike Scioscia, and Mickey Hatcher. They had all these Dodger coaches.
As Dodger fans, we know to hate the Giants,
right?
We did hate the Angels at that time.
Talking about the coaches, I think Joe Madden was on that squad too. Bud Black,
a
bunch of managers right now were on that team, and like that was a really good coached team. Like player wise, I don't think they were supposed to be there. You know what I mean? And they ended up winning. It was tells a lot about what coaching does in baseball.
Definitely.
Coaching, because basically this Dodger team is basically the same, except for these new rookies that are coming up and doing dope, but that Don Mattingly had, right? And Don Mattingly just couldn't get them past the hump. I feel like Dave Roberts can. Dave Roberts has something, and that's the coaching that I think will take them to the next level.
His substitutions, how he brings people in, takes pitchers out. Yeah, Dave Roberts is really good, man. But to your question,
Yeah.
I'm going the Angels also. I fucking hate the Giants. It's kind of like the Clippers. They're like your little brother, your cousin. You know, like if you see them, yeah, they're cool. But they go up against the Lakers, you want Lakers all day. If they go against Angels and Dodgers, you're going Dodgers.
That's a good comparison.
You know, yeah.
Because obviously for the last few years they've been a lot better than the Lakers. But you don't feel hate for them because they haven't won anything.
You don't want them to win though.
Yeah. Right.
If they're playing LeBron, I want them to win.
Did you guys? LeBron. If you guys follow us on Instagram, what's our Instagram?
Oh, I didn't give you my answer, Rudy.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
All right.
Oh, rude.
Yeah, my answer is the Angels. I went for the Angels. I think I was still too young to really have hate for the Giants, but I liked the Angels. I was on the Angels.
Hey, you're the guy who's going to buy a Giant hat, though. So
eventually, yes.
Yeah, John.
I'm going to get every single hat.
A lot of those Angels, they were from Southern California, right?
The players?
Right.
I don't know. I was too young.
Yeah, I think a
lot
of them were. Except for Gary Anderson. I think it's from Canada or something.
No, Darren Erstad's from like the middle of Nebraska somewhere.
Yeah, Nebraska. Now he's coaching Nebraska.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you follow us on Instagram, we put up a video of Alex Verdugo hitting a warning track shot off of the outfielder's head, home run. If you haven't seen it yet, follow us on Instagram
at In the Clutch Sports.
At In the Clutch Sports. It's funny as fuck. I only remember seeing that. I didn't even see it, but it was Jose Canseco, routine fly ball, hits that fucker in the head, and then becomes a home run.
Goes over.
But there's a big difference. Like Jose Canseco's on the wall, like when it just barely got over. And this dude that, I don't know who the hell he is, but this dude that Alex Verdugo hit was a good 20, 30 feet away from the wall.
Yeah, that ball ricocheted, man.
Bounced.
It took off.
That dude, I'm surprised didn't get knocked out.
Yeah.
Like Canseco had a thick skull from the steroids. Yeah, like, I get it.
Big ass fucking steroid head.
You know what's crazy, guys? On Tuesday, I was reading that the Dodgers won their 70th game of the season already. Now they're up to, what, 71, 72? 72. While I was reading on Dodgers.com is that they were the fifth quickest team to reach 70 wins. The other four teams were the 2001 Mariners, the 1998 Yankees, the 1970 Reds, and the 1969 Orioles. Out of all those four teams who reached 70 wins before the Dodgers had in the 101 games, only one of those teams won the World Series.
Wow.
And that was the Yankees. They swept the Padres 4-0. Which
98.
What were the Padres doing?
Right? I think they had Kevin Brown. And
he was
Kevin Brown, Ken Caminiti. They had. Was Tony Gwynn on that team?
Yes, he was still. Yeah. He played until like the 2003 or something.
One of my favorite players.
Tony Gwynn was dope.
Let me ask you guys a question. Growing up, maybe before you hit your teens, who was your favorite player? Not a Dodger.
Mine's easy. Ken Griffey Jr., the kid.
All right, Gordo, Ken Griffey Jr., Ronnie?
Not a Dodger.
Not a Dodger.
You know what? I'm also going to probably have to go Griffey.
Griffey? I think he was a lot. Yeah, he was a
right,
cool
right
guy.
Around our era, when we were growing up.
If you were around our age, that was your guy.
I remember a quick story where I went to the Dodger game. It's Dodger related, though. And Raul Mondesi, because that's the first person who came into my head. Yeah,
that's my favorite Dodger growing up.
Yeah, so my brother was like, he asked me, why are they booing him? And I was like, Joey, they're not booing him.
Yeah.
They're saying Raul.
Yeah.
And he was probably Ken Griffey, non-Dodger. Raul Mondesi, Dodger.
John?
When I was really young, it was Griffey. It was Griffey. I bat lefty, so I would do the Griffey batting stance. But as I got a little older, I became a catcher. So it was Mike Piazza. Because by the time I became a catcher, he was gone. He wasn't a Dodger anymore.
Yeah, he was traded to the Marlins
for like 5
shortly
days.
after to the Mets.
Then he went to the Mets. So it was Mike Piazza and Pudge, and a little later it was Joe Mauer.
Dolfo, who do you got?
I mean, not to piggyback on the rest of the guys, but I had two posters up in my room basically my whole childhood. It was Griffey, and the other one was, believe it or not, Troy Percival. I don't know why. I mean, he just seemed like a badass, man. He shut it down, even though he was an angel, whatever. Like you guys were saying earlier, it wasn't that big of a rivalry. It was really fun to watch that guy pitch, man. He was really intense, and that was one of my guys.
Steroids?
Me, I would say not a Dodger, Cal Ripken Jr. To me, I just respected him so much. He was a workhorse. And before that, John knows this, George Brett. I actually dude, this story. We go to Quake Stadium here in Rancho Cucamonga, California. It's an all-star game. Me and my brother John.
Minor league all-star
game, sorry. I believe Bellinger was there.
He was in the home run derby.
He was in the home run derby. And I think Jonathan nudged me like, oh, shit. Like, he said something like, someone was coming. I didn't hear what he was saying, but it was George Brett and
Ron Say, Sean Green.
Right. And they're walking towards us. Well, I've seen Ron Say several times. I didn't notice that George Brett was right there. George Brett, growing up, he was one of my favorite players. He walked right past me, and I didn't take my eye off of fucking Ron Say. Like, I didn't even know. And Jonathan, he's like, dude, George Brett just walked right past you. I'm like, no, he didn't. He's like, yes, he's right there. And I look, now he's like 20 feet away. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, shit. Why don't you fucking tell me? I was telling you. But I was so focused on Ron Say that I missed my one shot. He was so close. Like, I really could have shook his hand. He was that close to me.
That's definitely a Rudy story. That happens to him so much.
Didn't that happen to you once?
No, yeah, because we were so the last time, not the last time, but maybe 5 years ago, the UFC was in Anaheim.
I know where you're gonna go with
all right,
this
just
shit.
like this week today, the UFC's in Anaheim. But the last time the UFC was in Anaheim, we went to the weigh-ins, and we're right there, right where the fighters walk out and go up the stage to go weigh in, and everybody comes out like in a little horde. Like the first guys, the Dana Whites, the ring girls, the Sean Shelbys, and everybody, all the officials, like not the actual fighters yet, and we're just about in the front, maybe two guys behind, and they come out, and Rudy sees Dana White, and he gets so excited. And he lifts up his phone. Oh, just trying to take a picture of Dana White. Yeah, he's taking a picture, and he's all excited. Hey, Dana, look over here. And he puts his phone down, and he checks out the picture, and Dana White's in the background, but who's right in front of him? The ring girl, Ariana Celeste.
Oh, Rudy.
Yeah.
Like right in front
Like
of
she
him.
was right under my armpit the whole time.
And he's so excited
Get out
about
of the
Dana
way.
White.
What the hell, Rudy?
I don't want to have a rooftop dinner with you. Get out of the way.
Fuck, dude. That was stupid. Can you guys remember any time you guys actually met an athlete you came close to him and I could maybe had a conversation with?
You know what, honestly, I haven't really been listening to you guys too much because Ronnie's over here Googling hot chicks. Like,
I'm like, yeah, Rudy, that's cool, dude. That's cool.
laptop right next to me, and I've literally just been looking and giving him thumbs up every time.
Did you
I
guys
don't
see?
know who these girls are. But
I'm looking at Matt Harvey's girlfriend, Ashley Haas. Haas.
Matt Harvey is known for having like
Yeah,
supermodel.
that's what it said.
It wasn't Adriana Lima
Who's that
one?
No,
And
no.
then
I'm not
he like
sure.
really got butthurt that she fucking dissed him.
Who's that?
You know about that, Adolfo?
Daniel's wife?
Yeah, he was there. Somebody took pictures of him walking around with Adriana Lima, and there was another super hot girl that was with them too. They were leaving a club at like 3 or 4 in the morning out in New York City, and he was in the middle of not throwing, pitching that well. So he was getting a lot of flack for that, and I think that was maybe just like 1 week. Then the week after that, she was, I guess, hanging out with some other big celebrity, and he was having all that trouble with the Mets where he didn't show up and all that, and people were kind of blaming on Adriana Lima and him not being with her anymore.
And that's all clubhouse things, and going back to the Dodgers, I think their clubhouse has been the best in years. Even Bui is who's everybody talks shit about. Bui, like the stories with Zach Greinke and Bui throwing their stuff all out out of the bus, and like none of that, not even a little bit of rumors coming out. Like everybody's happy, everybody's winning, and they're doing the best that I've seen in my life.
I'm just gonna take 10 seconds real quick. We got a black belt, and what the fuck are you? No, Taekwondo black belt. I just want to take your take on this DC Cormier. Who's gonna win? Nam. His name's Nam.
I'm not into UFC, so
All right, go get your ass over there.
Maybe give him a breakdown of each fighter, and then
All right. Cormier. He looks like Carl Winslow, and John Jones looks like
Tyrone
Biggums. Who do you got? John Jones. You got John Jones. Jonathan just showed me a video today Russell Martin. Actually, it was the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah.
It was the Blue Jays. Pitcher throws a ball inside. It looks pretty close. It could be a strike, could be a ball. He gets really upset at himself because he missed. He puts his glove up to his mouth and starts cussing. Not cussing at the umpire, but he's just cussing. The umpire decides to walk up in front of the box, take off his mask, and stare the pitcher down. Jonathan, do you think these guys take it too fucking serious? They try to be too tough.
There are a few. The guy who did this was Angel Hernandez, who is known for this shit. He wants to be the star of the show. Like before he threw the pitch, not even a second goes by that he was already out from behind his squat. He took off his helmet and he stared down the pitcher. Like that's something you don't do. Like you're a grown ass man. What do you want him to come up to you and fight you? Like you're in a position of authority. You can't do that. You can't and you can't try to instigate something.
But this has been going on for years. Years.
I mean, even 2 days ago, the same thing happened to Stroman. I had the same team. Like he got kicked out, and so did Russell Martin actually of that game because again it was balls and strikes. You can't argue. That's one thing about baseball. You cannot argue balls and strikes. You can argue plays at the bag, see if they're close or fair foul stuff like that, but you cannot argue balls and strikes. The thing about Stroman was he was upset and he yelled, but he didn't yell at the umpire. He said I'm not even talking to you. That's what if you read his lips, that's what he said, and he got thrown out. And then his catcher trying to defend him, he got thrown out too. I don't know if it's something about these guys, Russell Martin or the umpiring crew that's in Toronto right now, but they have something against this team.
Well, same thing happened to Adrian Beltre. He was at the batter. He wasn't really at the batter's box. He was about 5 feet away, and he's swinging his bat. Umpire tells him, "Hey, get in the batter's, not in the batter's box, in the
on deck circle."
On deck circle. So he's like, he grabs the on deck circle and pulls it his way, right where he wants to be standing. Yes. And he gets kicked out of the game.
That was awesome. That was just Beltre being Beltre.
Fun. Yeah, exactly. Beltre being Beltre.
Well, my point is that umpires.
Yeah. That goes back to Joey's point.
Right.
Umpires are doing too much.
They're doing too much. They want to be the focus.
Like right there, Beltre was entertaining the fans. Yeah. It was a game that was a blowout.
It was a blowout. It was 10-2 or something.
No,
more than
worse.
That.
I think the deficit was like 12.
Let me ask you a question,
like
Gordo. Do you think it's going to get to a point where these umpires are going to be useless? We're not going to need them anymore? Everything's going to be
replay,
right?
The strike zones.
Like you really don't with the technology.
That technology has been there, right?
Yeah.
The strike zone.
You don't
they
need
just
them.
Haven't used it.
You don't need them anymore.
I think you started to take it away from you, Gordo, but I think you do on the base paths.
Yeah. Right.
The fair foul, the close tags.
You're okay with strikes and balls being called?
Strikes and balls, totally. Robot lasers, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one behind the plate. Well, you can be back there for the plays at the plate.
Plays at the plate.
Right, but I think balls and strikes need to be lasers and robots and cameras.
What do you think, Adolfo?
I agree with John. I mean, we have the technology to do it. There's really no good reason to stick with these live umpires for balls and strikes. I mean, the technology is 100% better. It's just people sticking to the old traditions.
It just seems like baseball is the slowest to
adapt to the new things. Yeah, everyone loves tradition. Everyone loves unwritten rules, things like that.
How long has instant replay existed in so many other sports, and we barely got it?
That's
4 years ago? 3 or 4
That's
years
right.
ago?
And I mean, we as far as the umpires go, with them stealing the show, I mean, we don't know what the MLB is doing behind the scenes, if they're talking to them or not. But they really should be letting them know. You know, the best umpires are the ones that you don't even notice the entire game.
I agree.
That's the real simple rule. If you don't notice an umpire, he did a great job. And it seems like a lot of these guys, like you guys were saying earlier, are really trying to steal the show. They're really, you know.
Yeah, you got these guys saying. I remember watching a game once, and you hear the guy and the umpire saying "See ya" for strike 3. Like
that's right. I mean,
and this is an MLB game.
And there's a lot of things that have changed since cameras started being put on these games. I mean, I remember reading a book from an old umpire that he was there before games were televised. And he said the worst thing that happened to the game was, these cameras showing up at baseball games, because now, you never had umpires, making a show, for the third strike or for an out. They didn't take big steps and big windups. They just called it, and now you have guys running around trying to steal the show, and it's hurting the game a little bit.
And back to the Beltre thing, he didn't break a rule. Like
no.
they've looked it up, like people on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. They've looked up
it's
the
all
rule
about
books.
Ego.
No, but he showed them up. That's why.
That's what I'm going to say. But that's not a rule. That's not a rule.
Like, but it's like a discretionary ejection.
Once the umpire said, "Oh, you made me look like an idiot. You're out of here." It was quick. It was like, "Oh, that's not funny."
Beltry's the most entertaining guy in baseball. I love watching Beltry videos.
He has so many gifs on Reddit. It's the best. And when he messes with Elvis Andrus,
God. When he goes for the fly balls and he acts like he gets under it.
There's a lot. There's so many.
The touching of his head.
When they touch his head.
Well, didn't you? Isn't he going up for his 3,000th hit soon?
Yeah.
And everybody's out for his head. Like that's Elvis Andrus sent out a video said like we're coming for your head. Like that's awesome. And the way he reacts. He's playing, but he just has he throws his glove at them. Miguel Cabrera, like when he goes on first, he tries to touch his head. He pushes him. Like it's Beltry's the fun.
Like you don't know if it's serious, and if it is serious, it's
fun.
Does it
still
great,
funny.
Though.
He does it great.
Yeah. You're right. What do you think, Rudy?
It's gonna come to a point, I say, in the next 10 years where you're not gonna see a umpire behind the plate. These guys, for some fucking reason, they think they belong. It's like NBA. What was that ref in the NBA that kicked out Tim Duncan for laughing on the bench?
I don't know his name, but I remember the play.
But like even in the NBA, they just try to take over. Even in the NFL, when they're fucking, is that motherfucker is buff as fuck too?
Hockey.
Yeah. Like it's all they just want to be on TV. Like no, you're getting paid a ref. Not. We don't want to look at you. We don't give a fuck about you. You know, let's go to boxing really quick. There's a big fight tonight.
That's what we're all here for.
And
we're at a fight party.
We are at a fight party Gordo's house. It's Mikey Garcia. We got Bronner. Who do you got?
Mikey all the way, man. I've said it before. I'm going to stick with Mikey from Moreno Valley. This kid's the truth. Man. I've been a big fan for a while. And Broner, I'm not taking anything away from him. He's really talented. But
Mikey wins this fight. Do you think he elevates as far as...
Yeah, this is what he needs. That's why they give him Broner.
That's why he made it free?
They made it free. Yeah, I guess so. But they made it free because they both don't have big followings. Nobody would pay for this.
How old is Mikey? Because he's been around for
29. a while. Broner's 27.
Oh, so he's been there for a while.
Yeah, like I said, I've said it before. He took 2 years off for contract disputes that he wanted to get out of Top Rank, which is Bob Arum's
promotion.
Promotion stable. But so he pretty much sat out 2 years. 2 years of it. Well, he was like 27, 28. 2 years of his prime. But this guy is just, he's technical, man. He's sound.
Let's say he wins his fight. What's next for him?
For me, I mean, boxing is just, you never get the best matchups. And the guy I want him to fight probably won't happen because he's with Top Rank and it's Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford he's another guy, and I think Terrence Crawford wins. But
oh, really?
Yes, but Terrence Crawford, he's the guy, man. This guy is, Terrence.
He's still undefeated too, right?
Yeah, this guy's the truth too, man. This guy's good. Terrence Crawford is good, but I think that's one of the best fights boxing can give us.
So you think this is an easy walkthrough for Mikey Garcia?
No. Broner is talented.
And it looks especially at this weight, right?
Yeah, he's undefeated at this weight. The 2 times he's lost, it's been plus 140. It's been at 147.
147.
Yeah.
What's his fight at?
His what?
This fight weight?
140.
140.
He looked a little depleted yesterday at the weigh-in, but he's actually gonna rehydrate so much. They're thinking he might come in at 160 today.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
What about Mikey?
Mikey, he's going up in weight. He's at 135 usually, so he's going up to 140 for this fight. It's first time.
So Mikey, there's no chance that he could fight Canelo. He's too small.
He's too small. Yeah, he's too small.
Could he fight Pacquiao?
Mikey, yeah. There's been talks about that. But Terrence Crawford is a guy they always throw at for Pacquiao's name, but Pacquiao wants no part of it anymore.
But Terrence Crawford, does he have an actual name out there that he could fight that will get him?
He's big in his city, he always fights in Omaha.
A casual fan doesn't know who he is.
No. That's the thing. They need to give him
a
guy like this, which is why I think they're giving Mikey Broner. This is, people know Broner.
I got you.
He loses to a guy like Mikey Garcia. Who's this guy? Terrence Crawford needs that guy. That's why people there's a lot of great boxers that people don't know because they don't have that
Triple G.
Yeah, he doesn't have that opponent under his belt. If he beats Canelo, then he's the king of boxing,
But he has a pretty big following, at least.
Yeah, but not
with boxing fans.
Yeah, with boxing fans, because we know who he is. He's exciting. He's a little mini Tyson, I guess. But like Pacquiao. he made a career beating guys that were beloved like Barrera, Morales, Marquez. These guys
Mexicans.
had great,
That's also what
and
got
boxing. That's the biggest following is
him.
Mexicans.
Yeah, exactly. That's what got him followers. That
Look
he
at Triple G.
He would fight
Triple
the
G
Mexicans.
always says Mexican style. Like I fight Mexican style. He comes to L.A. to fight. He wears Mexican colors. He has a Mexican coach, like a trainer.
He had the Dodger logo on.
Yeah, he had the Dodger logo here.
Shorts.
Yeah.
The L.A.
Yeah, at the StubHub Center.
Yeah, he knows who his market is.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, his
You
country.
Guys, you guys want to do a quick prediction, or you guys got a insight on this?
All right, we'll do a quick prediction. I'll start off with John. Who do you got?
I've never seen Mikey Garcia fight,
Okay.
but he is from around here, so
Moreno Valley.
I'm going to go with him.
For me, Rudy, I'm also going to go Mikey Garcia, but in a close fight.
Yeah.
I think he's talented. They're both 5'7", so there's not really a big height difference.
Right.
You know, and even though Broner's all about talk and show, he's a pretty good damn fighter.
Yeah.
But Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, you already know mine, Mikey Garcia. But I agree with Ronnie. Close fight, and maybe we could see 2 or 3 of these fights.
I don't think it's going to be a close fight. I'm going to tell you why. Obviously, it looks like Bronner's taking this a little bit more serious. But I think once the lights hit him, he sees all the crowd, he's going to go back to the same Bronner. It's just it's too much for him. He loves attention. He's an attention seeker. Why was he at the press conference with McGregor and Mayweather? He just loves
Mayweather's little brother.
He loves attention. He loves attention. It's too much for him to handle.
No, he's been here before, though. He's been here more than
Yes,
than
but
Mikey
what
has.
I'm saying, when the lights come on and he gets on the ring, everyone's looking, he turns into the
I don't
same
think so.
person.
He's a fighter. I think that has nothing to do with it. He's a fighter.
And I think he's going to get knocked out 10th round. That's my prediction, Gordo.
That's a good prediction.
All right, guys. So we're reaching the end of the show here, and we always choose a in the clutch performer of the week.
My choice for in the clutch performer is the guy that got thrown out, Adrian Beltre. He's on his way to 3,000 hits, and up to this point, he's 3 for 3, 4 for 4. He's trying to get that out of the way. So last few games, he's been on a roll. I think he had an offer in there, but the last week he has a lot of hits. Like he caught up ground, and at this point, while we're recording, he's at 2,999. So by the time we let this out on Monday, he'll probably have the 3,000 hits. And
Ex-Dodger.
Exactly, ex-Dodger, future Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Yes.
Easy?
Easy.
Okay.
I think so.
I think so too. I think there is. You can
guy's
argue
awesome.
against it.
Because he was
it's
he
arguable.
is a great defensive.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
But that little stint on the Mariners hurt him.
Yeah,
I think so.
How long was it? 3?
I think it was like
He
3
signed
years.
for 4 years.
That's
he
because-
he went with the trade now to Boston. He
Mhm.
went on a trade.
Yeah.
He was
And that's
hurt.
when
He was hurt.
Yeah, he got hit in the balls. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like he got hit in the balls, and it took him out for the whole season.
Yeah.
Like, and he said, "I don't wear a cup." Like, still,
Who else?
I don't wear
Who
a
else
cup.
hits home runs off their knees?
Yeah, and that was the Boston
That is
thing. He
freaking
started
awesome.
doing that in Boston
Yeah,
right when
yeah,
he got
exactly.
right when he left
Yeah, that was awesome.
the Mariners. But that's my pick. If
Nah,
anybody else has
I
anything,
think we're good with that.
all right.
You're in the clutch
Adrian
performer of the week, Adrian Beltre. All right, guys. If you want to follow us, you can follow us. Ron, go ahead.
You can follow us on Instagram at In the Clutch Sports and on Twitter at In the Clutch PC.
All right, check our Instagram. We're always posting new shit, funny videos. And thanks for listening. Please remember to share, subscribe, and share again. Share like 10 times.
Let's go,
and
DC.
20.
And thanks to everybody who has shared. I can name so many people, but you guys know who you are. Thanks again.
Thank you, Daniela, for sharing.
It really means a lot to us. Thank you.
We're out.